Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown. This week featuring
Wake up, wake up.
Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up.
Make it strong, please. Hey. Ho. Hey.
Wake up, wake up.
Ho. No, really, can I have some coffee?
Wake up,
I have a
wake
friend
up.
whose birthday today. When are we doing that at the top? Did I kill you? What?
Look, you see what the middle of the table is? We're so good.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, April 15th, and you know what that means.
It's halfway through April.
It means it's about time to give up whatever you gave up for Lent.
Oh, great.
Give up giving up things.
Oh, I just gave up.
Well, you have to give up giving up. You have to go back to not giving up. You have to try again.
I'm going home.
Aren't you ready for work?
Oh my God, wow. That is coming, isn't it?
You know, I have a friend that just recently started dating somebody new, and that person gave up sex for Lent. You can't give up sex at the beginning of a relationship.
Why give up? I don't.
Like, he already had that in mind before he started seeing my friend, but then, like, change it. You know, give up being sad and single. Not that he was.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
Because you're sitting next to me.
Okay, that's fine.
You guys, this is Wake Up in Provincetown. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a great show for you today.
We really do.
Who's in the tap room?
We have Quinn Taylor from Cafe Heaven coming in to chit-chat about their upcoming season and everything he's got going on.
And his life from Hollywood to heaven. Who else?
When did you make that up?
That's the name of his company.
Hollywood to Heaven?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. And then we also have Mackenzie Miller coming in to chat about her show next week, 420 Heaney.
New music from Mike Flanagan and Lisa Bello. And also our cameraman, our trusty stage manager, Margaret, who is still on vacation for his second Friday in a row. We have some footage of his exciting time in Santa Monica, California.
We do. It's very fun and cute.
It is very fun and cute. I'm glad they're having such a good time.
How was your week?
My week was, you know what I decided? I decided that whoever wrote The Wizard of Oz, whoever wrote the iconic line, "There's no place like home," must have stayed in 9 hotel rooms in 13 days.
Did you say 9?
Because that's what I just did, and I realized that there's no place like home.
Why?
Because now that my husband is the GM of a hotel that we had never stayed in before, he was like, we need to stay in every room so that we can see, I can be like, oh, the wallpaper is chipping in this room. You know, he's making a list and checking it twice to find out which rooms are naughty and nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
But it's like we couldn't possibly just walk in and look.
No,
We'd have to
because then you have to be
stay.
like, oh, the bed in this room is
That's
a little
true.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's like detail oriented.
Yeah.
But also you have to then move rooms 11 o'clock in the morning every day. So like we've been living there since April 1st, and we've stayed in 9 rooms out of the
cute.
18. Oh, sure, it's cute. I don't want to sound like ungrateful for what sounds like a really fun time. But I just want to sleep in my own bed and make lunch in my kitchen. Like when you're staying at a hotel where you don't have access to food you know you have at home, you're like, what am I going to do for lunch today? And then you have to go across town. I've lost 1 pair of prescription sunglasses, 1 book, my patience more than once. I've just, you know, things are all over the place. I'm like, oh, those shoes are at the hotel. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So last night was the first night Peter slept at home since I go home and spend the night there like once every 5 days or something.
Right.
He last night finally came home and was like, oh, our bed. I'm like, yeah, it's great to be home.
Right.
You know?
That just sounds like a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it is. And it's
is
really
work,
beautiful.
But it's
up
like,
there.
it's a very beautiful staycation.
It's totally beautiful up there. So thank you, Peter and Ed and Trevor, for a lovely 2 weeks. How was your week?
My week was super low key. I'm glad the week before I did so much. There was so much going on, town meeting. I just like every day was packed with stuff. I went to Boston, and then this week, like barely left my apartment.
I saw you going for a walk with your friends.
That's true. I went for a walk with my friends. Really thrilling stuff over here. I actually did something really fun last week that I didn't get a chance to chat about on the show because my week was so busy last week. So we'll chat a little about it now. I don't know if you know, but Carrie and Gaston do their Land's End salon. They started it like once it was it, do you know if it was pre-pandemic or?
If not pre, then at the very beginning.
I do think it was pre-pandemic. Then they went on a break, and then once it was safe, they started up again. But it is a live figure drawing class that they do every Wednesday through the winter. It's they extended it to their friends, but it's grown to a pretty large group. But I actually modeled for it.
You nude modeled for their
Nude
class?
modeled.
How was that?
It was an experience. I was a little not uncomfortable, but uneasy going into it because I didn't know who was going to be there. It ended up being all people I knew, which made me like less nervous and more nervous, just like different. But it was a lot of fun. I just decided to really commit and do it confidently, and yeah.
What pose did you do?
So many. People think that. I mean, not people, but I thought like, oh, it's not that hard. You just like stand there for a while people draw you. But it is really challenging.
Tell us about it.
It's challenging to like hold a pose for that long, and you like some of them were 20-minute poses, some were just a minute or 10 minutes. But the 20-minute ones, you get in a pose and you're like, oh, I can totally do this, and then 2 minutes in, you're like, fuck.
Kind of like the time you were holding the camera during that interview.
That interview, it was very much like that. But afterwards, the people were like, you were so great, you were so still, you didn't move at all. I'm like, thought that was the name of the game. Like I thought this is what I had to do. They're like, no, a lot of people are just like take a break. But
When are we going to get to see the drawings of you?
I think they're up on the screen right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There were
Yeah.
a few more photo-realistic drawings that I'm not gonna put up.
Who's really good at making them photorealistic?
I'm not really sure of who did what drawings. They kind of just like photo dumped all the pictures to me, but they were all really incredible. They really were. Everyone's styles were so cool. Every single person there was incredibly talented. Some people were doing digital drawings on an iPad. Some people were using charcoal, pencil, but it was cool and it was a lot of fun.
Restaurant OnlyFans.
Yes, like the photorealistic ones are up on my OnlyFans. Please subscribe now.
Restaurant OnlyFans? Is that what you said?
Restaurant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds fun. That
It was a
sounds.
lot.
I mean, also like putting yourself out there in a way that you maybe normally don't.
Yeah. I mean, I normally do, but
Boy, be Georgie.
yeah, sure. But in that, where it's like you're literally on a pedestal, surrounded 360
By people that you
by
know and
people
love.
you know who are just staring at you, drawing you.
Fun. Are you gonna do it again?
Yeah. And as I was like looking at them all, me personally was looking, I'm like, these are gorgeous and amazing. And then my body dysmorphia looking at them like, but it's okay.
You look great.
Thanks. Yeah.
I actually had dinner with them the other night, carrying
Oh,
guests on.
cute.
Yeah, and seeing some of the they're like, this is so and so, that's so and so.
Did they cook at their house for you? I had a dinner party at their house a few weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. Gaston is such an
know.
incredible cook, and Carrie really brings the cheese.
Totally. No.
Yeah.
If you ever get an invitation from them, go.
And eat the cheese.
Yeah, and the chicken.
Yeah.
What else?
Let's see what else we got going on.
Well, first of all, let me give you guys a quick weather report. Right now, it's almost 50 degrees in Provincetown and sunny, and it's going to be in the low 60s, I think, today.
That's cute. I know. Claps all around.
It's fine. It might rain a little this week, but you guys, it's finally happening. The crocuses are out, the tulips, your tulips. Everybody's ready for spring. I went to the grocery store yesterday in flip-flops, and the lady next to me at the seafood counter was like, somebody's optimistic about spring. And I was like, somebody was lazy 5 minutes ago.
Right. Someone didn't want to tie shoes.
I just didn't want to put socks on.
My roommates are back, all three of them.
Wow, already?
I think they're just here for the weekend. I think they're stopping by to get some stuff done and see family, and I think they're going back. I have no idea, but I'm happy to have them all back.
Are they a throuple now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Stefan, Samuel, and Bravo.
Where's Bravo from?
Australia.
Oh.
He's an Australian cattle dog.
Oh. I thought you meant a legit throuple. I was like,
No.
wow, you're going to live with a throuple? More
Yeah.
power to
Can you
you.
imagine? I can't. But Bravo is really excited to see me, Samuel and Stefan, maybe. But they did say that it was 80 degrees in DC, and I was like, well, it's yet to be over 65 here, so.
It was
good luck.
82 in New York yesterday.
That's wild. Why aren't we getting that?
We are going to get it. We're going to get it right when we need it most. July.
Great. I could use it. I kind of need it most now.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mental health could really use an 80-degree day.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Trivia was fun on Monday.
Trivia was a lot of fun. I think we're going to be moving back to 7 o'clock shortly, but I think this Monday it's still going to be 6 o'clock. So stop by the brewery 6 o'clock on Monday to play trivia with me and someone. You're not in town, right?
I will not be here on Monday.
We'll figure it out.
It's gonna be somewhere else.
Yeah. Exciting stuff in the Drag Race cinematic universe happened this week. You look so excited.
I haven't seen a single episode this season. I'm kind of tuned out of it.
I wish I
I
could
might be
tune
done.
out. I'm kind of like, I don't want to watch this anymore, but I don't want to miss it.
It's like that point in American Idol when Paula Abdul left. I was like, I might be done with this reality show.
I get that. But tonight is the finale for season 14. They made it a top 5 which is very thematic for this season of never sending girls home. And a lot of people are frustrated that they kind of never are sending girls home. There was, I think, 4 or 5 episodes where they didn't send anyone home this season, and now it's a top 5, which it's been
only a 4, right?
It's been a top 4 since season 9, and before that it was 3.
Oh.
I feel like I should be like carted off to the nursing home. I'm like, remember in my day when they only had a top 3?
Yes.
Yeah. But people are kind of frustrated that they're not sending them home, but I think it's great. If the girls are serving, let them stay. I want to see more. If they're boring, send them home and make more room for the good ones.
Does that mean they occasionally had to send 2 people home?
They sent 2 people home one episode, and it very much felt like, sorry, but we got to get y'all out of here. But it was a lot of fun.
So tonight's the last one. Where are you going to watch it?
Probably home. Yeah. Or at the brewery. We'll see how I'm feeling. But they are doing the filming tonight, or the viewing tonight with Mackenzie and Austin here at the brewery at 8 o'clock. So stop by. It's the finale, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Personally, I'm rooting for Willow Pill.
You've said that since day one.
Since day one. Since the promos came out. Like just the image,
Really?
I was like, that's my girl, yeah.
Oh.
She had the best promo in my mind, but she's really fun, really kooky. And there's one other I could see winning. Her name is Lady Camden. And the rest, I'd rather not see win. But super excited to see them on All Stars. And big news for All Stars Drag Race this week. They announced the cast of All Stars 7, which is a cast of 8 queens who have all already won.
That I would watch.
Yeah. So it's like best of the best. I mean, not best of the best of the best. Because there's like a few that we're like, why aren't they back? And I'm like, they just did it so perfectly. Why come back and potentially tarnish their reputation? Girls like Bianca Del Rio, who are just like, they did it so well. Why come back and maybe not do so well?
Right.
Yeah. But there are a few townie favorites on the show. Jinx Monsoon, who used to live in Provincetown and performed I think at the Art House mostly. She had a show at the Art House for a few years. Maybe we'll see her back in town this summer. She did her show a few years ago with her and Ben de la Creme, another townie favorite. But also Raja, the winner of season 3, who lived in town for a while. She's going to be on it as well. So there's some really fun people to root for. Rumor has it they're not sending any of them home. That they're just going to let them all be on each episode the whole season.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's fun.
I want to see it. It's all
Yeah.
going to be fun. They're obviously girls we all love, so I just want to see it and see them be amazing. Also, rumor, potential spoiler. It's a rumor, though. Rumor has it that our favorite, Jinx, runs away with the whole, just wins everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't spoil it. Spoiler
It's a
alert.
rumor. Who cares?
Raja, on the other hand, is responsible for one of my all-time favorite Showgirls performances
No
back
way.
when it was at the Crown, where it is again this year, right?
Yay.
And this was, as far as we in the audience know, it's like some queen from far away who flew in for the night to win and then left and never to be seen again. And turns out it was Raja. She came out to do Shaka Khan's Through the Fire.
Your favorite.
Tall, thin, gorgeous, with this like giant white afro wig. And like on the chorus, Through the Fire, Through the Flames, she would like flick her head and it looked like smoke came out.
Fun.
It was great. It was brilliant. It was beautiful. And so like cinematic.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to people performing on that stage again.
Totally.
Does that mean it's going to start at 10 like it used to, Jonathan?
It has to end by 10:30.
Showgirls has to end by 10:30?
What, we are not discussing any contractual. No, what's the question?
We'll talk about it later.
We'll be back after these messages. No, we were just talking about what time Showgirls is going to be this summer.
Oh, 9.
9.
Great.
Okay.
And there's no end time.
Okay.
Great.
It's going to start at 9 and there is no
end
hard
time.
end time.
Well, I imagine 1 at the latest.
Yeah, like 1 at the latest.
Yeah.
What else is going on? Do you have any gay news from town?
Town news? I do. There is a housing pitch contest hosted by E4All in, I think, collaboration with the town of Provincetown and also the Provincetown Commons. It's going to be on a Zoom on Thursday, May 19th, and it's for all people who have ideas for a business, a nonprofit, or local policy that could help alleviate the housing issue. So it's going to be a forum where you get up, you present your idea, and I think they're going to have people there in the industry to give you valuable feedback. And I think there's going to be prizes. 4 cash prizes will be given out. First place is going to have $1,000. Second is $750. Third place is $500, and also a $500 fan favorite prize. And I think Alex Morris, our town manager, has agreed to meet with the winner to discuss potential plausibility and actually potentially enacting it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas? I mean, tent city on the highway is just not going to happen, folks.
Yeah, I would love to actually talk about, there's so many, on community space, there's often people post articles or start conversations around housing, and this week I kind of had to laugh. Someone proposed an idea to alleviate the staffing / housing crisis, and a lot of people were hypercritical of that idea because they found it to be foolish. And then a lot of people then commented, like being like, he has an idea, what are you contributing? Don't be mean to him, blah, 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 blah. And I just have to laugh because I love that this person was getting all the support defending him, like don't be mean to him, when I find that 95% of the suggestions that people make do like lack a dignity for the people that are trying to be housed. You know what I mean? It's always tents, trailers.
Reduce the number of apartments we need by reducing the number of workers.
That's what's his idea, by changing business models, but like whatever.
Right.
Like he posted an idea. I just think we might, everyone's like, well, where's your suggestion if you're gonna be grow? I kind of feel like we could use less suggestions, you know? Or at least think them through first. Someone posted that we should contact FEMA. And I don't know if having to wait some extra time for your martini is exactly the type of emergency that FEMA handles, but who knows? I just think there is like, when we say workforce, I think people have this idea where they immediately go to like J1 college students that are here for 3 months. But I feel like what people need to realize is that when we say workforce, these are people who live here year round, people who work here year round, and workforce isn't only service industry jobs. Right. It's not only coffee shops, restaurants, retail. It's also our Department of Public Works. It's the banks. It's the post office. It's our town hall staff. There's more people that work and live in town that are struggling to find housing beyond restaurant workers and service workers.
Absolutely.
And also not to say that people who work for the DPW or town hall deserve more respect than a J1 student, but I do think there is this implied mentality of like college students are willing to live in a way that someone who's say 35 wouldn't be.
Completely.
Right.
But also, I do think that we need to, as much as we need housing for seasonal workers, it's the year-round community that like makes a place.
Yeah.
And those are the people that I personally am most concerned with. I have a couple of friends who have had the same apartment for 14 years, have had the same job for 15 years, and they are housing insecure all of a sudden and feeling like this strange, deep shame about it, as though, you know, like, as though they did it to themselves or something. Where it's like, I don't even want to tell people that I'm losing my apartment in the fall because it makes me look dumb or something. And I'm like, I don't see that. You know, like, this is happening to people that have been here for a very, very long time. And, you know.
I also felt like there was, at the town meeting, I had this kind of feeling that a lot of people speak about the housing crisis and the worker shortage in like this abstract way of thinking. They think about it in numbers like, oh, how many employees do we need? How many like beds do we need to fit those employees? And I feel like for people like us, me and Bob, and also a lot of people in our social circles, it's a little more real for us. Like when every spring, there's usually about 5 friends of mine that have lived here for years, and because they have to shuffle every fall and every spring, to be able to find a place every fall and every spring, eventually you're just not going to be able to find one with the way the housing is. And then we have to say bye to our friends that want to stay here, want to continue working here, want to continue contributing to the art and culture of our community. It's not just, it's real people putting the blood, sweat, and tears into the community that so many people have before us, and that we want to continue to do that. And I feel like that is sad.
It's all sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to do something happy?
Yeah, let's do something.
Should we
happy.
call somebody for their birthday?
Yeah.
Look. Oh, no, wait, no, that's not right.
I can't remember who that is.
Oh, Jesus. Wait, do I not have his phone number? Oh my God, I don't even have his phone
I
number.
think I saw it.
Did it? Really?
Yeah.
I just am spelling it wrong. That's the one.
It's his birthday?
Yes.
That's fun.
When's he coming back this summer? Do you know? I guess we're about to find out.
I don't know. I feel.
Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Cedric. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I was sitting here having my coffee and I was watching you boys.
Oh, no way.
Are we on a delay? Have we called you yet on screen?
I don't know. I was actually watching you on my phone, so you interrupted my viewing pleasure.
Oh, sorry. We'll let you get back to your favorite show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. Yes.
We just want to know when you're coming to town. When's your show? What are you doing?
My solo's at Treadwell, and it will be the week of Bear Week. I guess it opens like the last week of on the Friday of the 4th of July week.
Awesome.
Busy
So-
time.
I know. And then I'll be back and forth throughout the season. So
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
we can't wait to see you, and we hope the rest of your birthday is fabulous.
well, thank you. I can't wait to see you guys too. And
Yay.
thank
Happy
you for
birthday.
the birthday.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Yeah, so Cedric's going to have a solo show at the Treadwell Gallery. He said the week of Bear Week. He does some really incredible work with mixed media, some really, really fun stuff. He actually did one of me and Bob. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. I mean, it was the first in what I think is going to be a series that he's going to be working on, but super exciting. Yeah, check it out.
One more local gay news story. Did you
Perfect.
read this in The Independent? Those kids at Nauset Regional High School?
I did.
This is really kind of, as much as, I don't even know where to start with this. So like the Gay Student Alliance at Nauset Regional High School, which is, you know, if you have a teenager in Provincetown, they're going to Nauset High. It's the closest high school. At the homecoming rally last October, each student group got to go through and everybody like cheered. When the gay student group walked through, they got jeered and booed.
I know, that seems wild to me.
Not by everybody, but like a large enough faction that it rattled them. And then they had to, you know, petition with the faculty to address the issue. And the principal's way of addressing it was to tell everybody to be more inclusive and to recognize, you know, minorities and oppressed groups, you know. But like it was a very broad, it wasn't like, this is what just happened to these people.
Right.
It was very like this, which
Seems very don't say gay.
it felt a little, more than a little inadequate.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's important to address an issue for what it is,
Right.
rather than sweeping everything under a sort of like diversity umbrella. You know, this happened to the LGBTQ students. It didn't happen to everybody. And as much as I'm like, you know, here I'm the old lady now, where I was like, well, when I was in high school, there was no like gay student group.
Right.
I'm like, how nice is it that there, you know, this high school has gender neutral bathrooms in it. Like, did your high school have that?
No.
So like, you know, we're like incrementally getting there, but this is like a 2-step back kind of thing.
I actually found it really interesting. Like when I was in high school, I think was right after they started a gay straight alliance at my school. I find it interesting that they call their group a gender and sexuality group, which I think is great because it's more inclusive. It includes more people than just gay people. It includes non-binary people, trans people. I thought that was really great and shows like a movement forward, especially within young people. And it's really disheartening, especially after the Don't Say Gay bill, there were student walkouts. And I don't know if you saw any of the videos of them, but they were wild. Like the entire school walking out, chanting in support of their fellow students. It was really amazing to see. And I had like a moment of like, maybe the kids are all right.
I think they will be.
Yeah.
I mean, Chad goes to that school. Like, we work with somebody that goes to this high
Right.
school.
Yeah. And it's like, especially living in our little P-town bubble, we think things like that won't happen near us. We think it happens in Florida and Alabama and
Right.
things like that. But I even mentioned on the show last week, it's like I grew up in Connecticut and everyone thinks it's like this, oh, it's liberal, it's always a blue state, it must be so great. And I'm like, no, it was not.
There's parts of everywhere that
Yeah,
suck.
exactly. And I think it's important to realize that and pop your bubble every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the Don't Say Gay bill, Republican state politicians reportedly are vowing retribution against Disney after they spoke out against the legislation. And it's actually kind of wild what they want to do. So Florida lawmakers led by Governor Ron DeSantis are threatening to roll back the Reedy Creek Improvement Act of 1967. And something that's been Florida state law for over 50 years. And what this act does is it gives the Disney the authority to govern itself, including the ability to impose taxes, provide emergency services, and adopt ordinances on the land it owns for its operations in the state. So it kind of gives them almost like the way the casinos in Connecticut can kind of run themselves. It gives them the ability to run themselves, so they want to take that away. And even beyond that, politicians in D.C., 17 of them are saying that they won't support the extension of the copyright for Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Right. I just, like, how is this not, it's such, like, blatant political retaliation, where it's like, and also, like, could you imagine if Disney was just like, okay, we'll leave Florida then?
Right.
That'd be so bad for them. It's got to be, like, 80% of their economy is Disney.
I mean, that's why they passed that law in the 60s, right?
Right. To keep them there, keep them happy, keep them bringing money into the state, tourism dollars. But, yeah, not great.
Ron DeSantis should be happy that Disney's constantly trying to like squash the gay storylines in their movies. Isn't that enough for you Republicans in Florida?
Right, and also like the half-hearted apology, and also like they were like apologized for giving those lawmakers donations, but explicitly said that they wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I don't know how Disney gets out of that other than getting out of it and moving away from Florida. What other sunny place could you put Disney World?
There's already one in California.
That's Disneyland. Disney World is a whole other thing.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I went to Disney World once. Did you ever go?
Which is which again?
Florida is Disney World.
I went to that one once.
It was the happiest place on earth.
I know, I did have a moment while I was there where like, this is magical.
Yeah.
They're not wrong. But we'll see how that turns out. Another update from about Brittany Griner. We've been covering kind of her being stuck in Russia due to some drug charges. But the WNBA commissioner Kathy Engelbert, she began the draft this past Monday for the WNBA and made a little update about Brittany Griner. She did say that Brittany was safe and she's able to meet with her representation. They said they were getting a lot of help from the government and people. Specialists that work in this type of field. And another really exciting thing that they announced, so Brittany Griner does an event, it's called BG's Heart and Soul Shoe Drive, which is a charity event that helps provide shoes for people experiencing homelessness. And Brittany's been organizing this event for like, I want to say like 3 or 4 years. And because she is obviously stuck in Russia, the Phoenix Mercury, the team she plays on, is going to continue the event, and also in an act of solidarity, all the other WNBA franchises across the country are going to do an event in honor of that, which I think is really cool.
That is.
Yeah. Okay. Let's show Mike's video. So we have a video of one of the live performances from MikeMRF's new album with Lisa Bello. It's a co-album. It's a live album they filmed earlier this winter. It is available on all your streaming platforms, or you can go to Mike's YouTube channel to see the visual album. It's a live recording of the performance. And if you're in, let's see, Philly, DC, or Palm Springs, they are performing on their tour there. I think next Thursday is Palm Springs. I want to say DC is Wednesday, and Philly.
I'll show the poster after.
Great. We'll put the poster up after so I don't have to guess.
That makes sense.
Great. Take it away.
It on $1, 20 or 50, baby, I won't call you. I don't care who you are, you can throw it in a tip jar. Just throw it in a tip jar. Hey, hey, hey. Just throw it in a tip jar. Throw it in a tip jar. Throw it in a tip jar. Now give me that $20 bill.
Thank you guys so much.
We did it. We did it. Thank you guys for coming out. Charlotte and Lamb on the background vocals. Come on now. Seth Xavier over here on bass. The one and only Vansel also.
If you guys get a chance to go see Mike and Lisa play together, they're phenomenal. Sometimes we get to catch them at the club here in town.
They'll be at the club. Mike is the entertainment director for Tin Pan Alley and Post Office Cabaret, so you'll see them there a bit as well.
And now please welcome to our show Mr. Quinn Taylor. Quinn, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Full disclosure, this is one of my best friends. I've been begging to have him on our show since it started, but he wanted to wait until now.
Sure, Jan.
Can you tell our faithful viewers a little bit about your own personal relationship with Provincetown? Like, when did you start coming? How did you find it?
2003, I had left a horrible marriage, and a former friend brought me to Provincetown, and I ended up at Bobby Kelly's house we were staying in. I didn't know him at the time, and I came up from the basement and saw it was sunny and gorgeous and said, I'm going to go to the Red Inn, and I moved to the Red Inn, and I've been coming back ever since. And I bought my house in 2011, and cafe in 2019.
So your first trip was like a heart-healing moment.
Yeah, it was Labor Day. It's gorgeous. I mean, Provincetown's a great any time of year, but Labor Day especially is really
It's peak
epic.
town.
Right. Easy to fall in love right
It
then.
is indeed, with people and the town.
And so if you guys don't know this, Quinn, his former life was as an Emmy award-winning television producer who fell in love with the restaurant industry here.
To quote Harrison, but I loved Cafe Heaven because my friends work there, and Kevin Fessler, who isn't here obviously, and I was there all the time, and I loved the food. So it didn't make sense at all, but it kind of made sense to when the phone rang to say yes. And I jokingly say, but it's also true, I bought it because of the blueberry pancakes, the corned beef hash, and the fish sandwich.
Yeah.
I would have them every time I would leave town on the last ferry. I would eat all three dishes at the same time. As in case the plane went down, I would have my food that made
That's
me
your
happy.
like death row meal.
That was my death row meal.
It's, there's this trend of people buying things up here. It's easy for somebody, I think, to swoop in with a lot of money and be like, I love this place, but feel no obligation to honoring its history or like what the things about it that they love to begin with. And I just want to thank you for falling in love with an institution and being devoted to continuing it in its tradition rather than like wiping the slate clean. You could easily have started over and you could have turned it into an apartment if you wanted to. It's like you're taking something and keeping it what people love, and I just think that's really important and special, so thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you guys for continuing to support and trusting me not to fuck it up. And that's really, you don't know what that means to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing in a business they don't know anything about, just making a go of it. Looking at the colleagues in town, it really was those people that gave me the confidence to do it. And this gentleman here comes in every Saturday for an entire season with his best friends at the same table, and it's awesome. You don't know how to that makes me feel so happy and honored that you trust me with the night off of your time, because you don't have so many nights off that you will spend it with me. That's really kind of extraordinary. So thank you.
Of course.
But it's nice.
One of my
Tradition to get
favorites.
into.
It's amazing. One of my favorite spots.
You work on Saturdays now, though.
Oopsies. Spoiler alert.
I'll need an 8 o'clock delivery of chicken ravioli from Cafe.
Done. That can happen anytime.
And so when is Heaven back this season?
Well, Halo, our second year at Halo, which I think is one up here, is Wednesday. I didn't realize when I said to Colin, my manager, that we should bring it back early this year. I just picked a Wednesday in April, not knowing that I'm not a, no offense, Mackenzie, I'm not a hot person. But we have vices, but I didn't know what 420 meant, so to speak. So when I said that to Colin, Colin's like, oh, really, girl? I'm like, well, I don't know, it's a Wednesday. Halo, so it's this coming Wednesday, April 20th, at 7 to 11. All Colin's idea, when we first started it last year, it was something to do before bash and after tea, but there's lots of things to do after tea. But it became a thing that I love. I don't have to necessarily work it. I can just go hang out with friends. But we're so excited to have it back. And the cafe has a new look to it. We have new benches. Your ass won't stick to them when it gets sweaty outside. From a great bench maker.
That's what we love about
it. A great
it.
woodworker out of Chatham. Colonial Tabletops did it, and they're gorgeous. And I look forward to you seeing them.
Are you keeping the dividers?
Yes, they need some modifications because the benches are slightly different width.
Gotcha.
But yes, we're going to keep them.
I
mean,
love
people
that.
love them. So.
Yeah, it was obviously you implemented them for COVID, but they kind of created this cozy little nook to eat in. We were super comfortable.
Thank you. And we didn't need them last year technically,
right.
But we kept them because, like you, people did enjoy the privacy because, as we know in town, we have so few days to make the money and so little space. And one thing I did do when I bought the restaurant was I got rid of 3 tables, not literally the seats. Town hall, don't freak out. Not the seats. But the tables were so crowded, you were having dinner with the person next to you or lunch with the person next to you, you didn't even know them. And it wasn't comfortable. And I think now it's a little more comforting. And with those dividers, it gives you even more of a sense of privacy than you would have had any other way.
A lot of people love to turn banquettes, like put 2 inches between those tables and call them separate tables.
It's certain weeks of the year, we love the Bears. It can be very complicated to negotiate any group, family week with strollers. It's complicated to get around any restaurant, much less one that's, cozy, shall we say.
Right.
So Halo's back on 20th. The cafe itself opens on
8 o'clock, May 12th, Thursday.
And you'll be just weekends at the beginning, or?
To be determined, but we'll be probably breakfast, lunch, and dinner from the beginning, but Thursday through Monday. So just 5 days. And then we will go to 6 days around July 4th. I think our staff, and I have the best staff, they're awesome, are back, and by then they'll all be back in town and anxious to work.
And I mean, you know this now, but I feel like one of the best things about a restaurant is how it feels like a little family. And you have such a nice little family there with Tammy and Flavio and Phil and Buju.
No, I do, and my bartenders, my servers, and my bussers, it's awesome. I'm very, very, very lucky to have the group I have, but it also I have to have the customer base that I have because they're very loyal and they come back, and it's nice when they come back to hug all of us. And say, oh, good to see you. How was your winter? It's like family, and it really does become like a movie set.
Well, I was going to say, how is running a restaurant like running a network?
The chefs are my writer-directors. My servers are my cast. I'm the executive producer, and the menu is the script.
Oh, I love
so it's
that.
pretty much similar. I was a firefighter, a psychiatrist, and a dog walker as an executive. I'm the same thing as a restaurant owner. In essence.
Right.
But it's great. That also includes the customers. And unlike the TV, where I don't see my customers' reaction, my viewers' reactions,
Right.
This is instant. It's like Broadway. It's instant. The look when you drop the plate, that's not what they ordered, or the side's wrong, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And you have to, you fix things. But to me, it's very similar, but not at all.
Like sitting front row at town meeting. The expression is right there for all to see.
And it's people respond to what you're giving them,
Right.
if they're paying attention to what they're doing.
And you worked in a restaurant when you were a kid. One of your first jobs was
Was a dishwasher.
Right.
I was hired as a busser. Said, I'm not doing that. I want to be in the kitchen where no one can see me. And I loved it. And I became the cook because the cook was always drunk or hungover, and I would eventually just end up taking her job. And her name was Ada, by the way. And that's how I learned to do that. I don't have anything to do with the kitchen now. I simply just support them, help them with better product, but I don't cook a thing, and I don't pretend to at all. It's
Who's making the
Buju
toast?
well, I do the toast.
Okay.
That's not cooking.
I don't make the bread. I toast the toast.
Like, I don't know if y'all know, but like a breakfast spot like Cafe Heaven, you have a toast person. That's what they do. Yes. They do the toast and that's it. And I think it was your first season where you were the toast person.
I was all 3 seasons. I have been the toast person.
Still the toast person.
And the muffin person too. But yes, it's quite toast is stressful. It's very stressful.
Imagine.
But to start out in the restaurant industry in 2019, before we knew what was coming, you had a really excellent summer that year, right?
Yeah, and in the pandemic, I have to say, I'm never going to say it was a good thing, ever, but it did give me the time to step back because we had no customers, we had no outdoor seating, we had to just simply Harrison mentioned those dividers. We had to do the best we could do, and Ellen Russo made the dividers, and God love her, she production designed these things like a Broadway set, and they're awesome, and they're still amazing. But it was complicated, and I learned though that when they added the bar side, previous owners added the bar side, they didn't take into account the size of the kitchen,
Right.
and they doubled the seats, and my kitchen was flailing.
Right.
And after we could realize, oh, I know now. Wow, this is so much. So now we have the same seats, but we have staggered it so it's a little more manageable for the kitchen.
Right.
And also upgraded some of their equipment, so it is toaster gets that toast done faster.
I
So
think
it does make a difference.
I think my last summer working there was the first year of the bar, and I just remember thinking like this was not like ill-advised.
It was
double the size of the restaurant, but not the kitchen.
Yeah.
or the kitchen staff.
Right.
And that's, when people, they don't want to sit around for an hour and a half for their breakfast necessarily. Dinner's one thing, but breakfast you want to, get in, get out.
Right.
You got beaches to go to, pools to go to, bike rides
Yeah,
to go on.
and get your lunch. You don't want to have to linger if you don't want to linger. You can linger if you want, but you don't. If you don't want to, you don't need to. And the kitchen and I and the servers all talked about it. And then the year after the pandemic, in essence, I think it really ran much smoother because we all now knew how to make it work, as opposed to fumbling and stumbling and trying to figure out, always behind the eight ball, what was happening and why it was not working so smoothly. Because it did work much smoother the third year. And this is my fourth coming up.
This is your senior year.
I know, right?
It's going to be great.
Sophomores for the drinkers, and Halo, and senior for us. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
I'm looking forward to Halo coming back. Some of my sloppiest, funnest nights were
It's
at Halo.
it's so fun.
I have to give that's all Colin and Mark Garrett, and I know he's not here to take the bow, and Joey and Kenny Ledoux and Brent and Gary at the door. It's a great group, and Mark and Colin play great music, and it's fun. And I have to say, it's I've gotten more people giving me feedback about when are you coming for Halo? When is it back? So it's a lot of anticipation and excitement. I'm looking forward to it. Nervous.
Can you speak a little to not only moving to town, running a business, but also participating in our government? You're on a board.
Yes.
And like Mary Jo was saying at town meeting, she was like, everybody needs to go to the website, look at the boards that have openings, and participate.
Yeah.
Like you're making time for it, and you're already so busy, but it's important to you.
It is. The Zoning Board of Appeals is it's fun. I've learned a lot about the different neighborhoods in town, the retail department areas, the commercial areas, the residential areas, 1, 2, 3. And people take where they live very seriously. What they live near, what is put near them. Did I say pickleball? People have very specific opinions about what and how they live. They bought a place where it is for a specific reason. Don't go put in some dance club right next to my house. And they become very heated, but it's fun because I take a drive when all the applications are submitted to us. I go see where they are, and there are some beautiful places in this town that I never even knew existed. Even right at the border with North Truro, there's some beautiful places over there, and way out there, it's wild. And the very different topography. You don't think about that. I think about this.
The half-mile stretch of Commercial Street. That's not all Provincetown is.
I just bike to work, and it's amazing. And I see all these. But it's so much. It's vast and grand. I also think you should. Thank you for bringing that up. If you have the time or the inclination or something that's important to you, you should take the time to give it back. I was invited to be on the zoning board. I didn't know. I do a lot of homework about it. And I'm very happy to be on that one. I think licensing has an opening and a couple others. And there are also alternate positions you can apply for or submit to be on. It's a bit of a pain in the ass, but it's worth it at the end of the day. Not to cut you off, but please.
I was just going to say thank you for doing it.
Well, you're welcome.
And I also feel like a lot of people in town talk about the boards and stuff like they're these 5 people in suits that they've never met, but it's people like you, it's people like me, all trying to give back. So just remember that. And
learning, also learning what this town, how this town operates and what it means, and why was that put there? Oh, I know why, because nobody was paying attention. Oh, there we have that. Yay. Anyway, it's worth it.
Well, thanks so much for coming in today.
My pleasure. Thank
Have
you.
fun on Wednesday. I'll see you there.
I hope to see many of you
We'll
there.
all be there.
Go to Halo Wednesday night, you guys. It's going to be popping.
Yeah. And speaking of Mark
After
Grant not
Mackenzie.
being able to be here, he did send us a couple of videos of what he's up to over in California. So check this out.
Sorry I'm not at the show today, guys, but I'm here in Santa Monica enjoying a little vacation before coming back to Provincetown. We got the roller coaster there, the Ferris wheel. We're totally going on those later. So, have a great show. I'll see you next week. Bye. Ferris wheel, and I didn't realize that it was very, very high. It's very windy. It's very screamy, and it is terrifying. So scary. Can't wait. Show everybody the beautiful view. Oh my God, it's spectacular. And now we're about to go down again, but oh my God, it's so scary.
On a Ferris wheel.
Oh, have you been on the Santa Monica Ferris wheel?
No.
It is not scary.
Okay.
Mark's sitting there screaming his head off.
No, he said it kept going around. They kept expecting it to stop and then and they just kept going around. But I love that Mark is having so much fun.
Because when he gets back, it's work, work, work.
Oh, yeah.
So enjoy these last couple days, Mark. I hope you're watching right now. Oh, are we allowed to touch
I just want
them?
to touch. Please welcome Mackenzie Miller to the Wake Up Stage.
Baby.
Nice to have.
Thank you so much for getting up this morning. I imagine at like 4 a.m. to do this gorgeous face.
Listen, as my friend Bianca Del Rio says, I woke up like this because I passed out like this.
Perfect.
Yeah, just keep it on.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Good morning.
And you've got your second annual 420 handy.
Holy smokes, literally. Yeah, so coming up next week, this will be our 420 Henny 2.0. It is a marijuana-based drag show, all local talent, and we're going to be doing over at the Crown and Anchor on Wednesday 420, and then Friday and Saturday. We're going to recover on Thursday.
Okay.
Just a nice little breathing room.
We'll need
so,
it.
yeah.
Did you do 3 shows last year?
No, we haven't done it for 3 years now.
Really?
Yeah. It's once this show was actually going to be mounted right when the pandemic hit, I guess.
my God.
And so we had to, tickets were on sale, and then within a week, everyone was refunded, and I've been smoking weed in my basement since then.
So you did one in 2019
2019.
at the Pilgrim House. Then obviously you had the second one planned. Then something
Put the kibosh on
happened,
that.
who knows?
Yeah, that whole little thing.
And now you're back.
No, we're back, baby. We're
Super
back and better than
exciting.
ever.
You've got a killer cast lined up.
Oh,
Who's in it? Who's in it?
Oh my gosh! So, like I said, all local talent. We have Kaya Cristal, Austin Fizel, Hamilton Fish.
I love
no,
that.
Harrison's gonna be involved.
Hamilton?
There was an article that came out that listed me as Hamilton. It's not the first time.
Listen, I thought it was a cute name. It's a good stage
I'm like
name.
wrong president, right?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
There's a musical written about you, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we have Juo Santos, we have Abby Cummings, Mona Moore. I said Kaya Cristal, Lady Prism, who is our Maddie Wida, is going to be making her burlesque debut. Did you guys know she's going by Lady Prism?
No, I did
live
not
for
know
that.
that.
Miss Lady
Work.
Prism. So we're going to see a lot of her at the show. So if you guys are on, go to onlyatthecrown.com and check us out. 3 nights. It's going to be pretty extra. It does say on the poster. I'm sitting on it. It's we're 2.0 HD, and I didn't even know that when we decided to make it HD, it stood for High Drag Queen. But then we learned of the actual HD qualities that are being implemented, and we get to debut. Can't say too much about what's going on over at the Crown and Anchor, but we're gonna flex our shit. Can we say that this
Yeah,
morning?
we can say whatever we
Okay,
want.
fuck yeah, cool.
We
Yeah,
didn't
there we
mention
go.
earlier, but the Crown and Anchor is just the vault is going to be open tonight and tomorrow, correct? They're doing some renovation, so
Some.
buckle up for that. It's going to be amazing.
Lots going on over there.
Absolutely.
So aside from emceeing the show, you're going to be singing and...
I will be lip syncing for my life. No, I'm so it's a ton of different arrays of talent. I know we'll have some live vocals, some crazy costumes, visuals. We've written Austin Tyler, my co-writer and funny man. We've pieced together this absolutely heinous 8-bit nostalgic of like arcade game kind of show. So you'll see some very familiar characters. Whether or not you've played video games or even smoked weed, we'll make it a very accessible, stupid good time.
Yeah. What made you want to do video games? Like,
For me, I don't know, drag and weed go so well together, and then all of a sudden it was like, what was that thing you were doing in your basement to like keep your parents assuming that you were staying out of trouble? You were playing video games. Mom, leave me alone. But you also, for me personally, was pretty baked most of the time. So of 8-bit arcade-ness, but just something that works so beautifully. And we actually wrote the show before the pandemic hit and we had to cancel it. So we've been fine-tuning, but we've had this script ready for like 2 years. So
That must be a great feeling, though.
It's
Like,
kind of
done.
nice.
It's
an
great.
yeah.
to keep it current, though, I mean, literally, we're making edits every single day, but we'll be done by Wednesday.
Yeah. For better or worse, like it's done. Go.
I want to ask you where you grew up. Where are you from?
I am from Seattle, so that is where I got my finesse of green, I should say.
Yeah.
That's
The
actually
Seattle queen.
what gave me such inspiration for it was in Seattle when we legalized marijuana. I would go to the gay districts, and all of the drag bars would have lines down the block for these weed drag shows on 420. So as soon as we started, legalizing it here, I thought, what better place than the gayest city in America,
Right.
and the most stoned city, I think, in America by now.
I think we're up there.
At least with the two of us. Yeah, exactly.
No, truly, it's going to be like super extra, very, very epic. But again, you don't have to be a THC connoisseur to enjoy. It is a very accessible, wonderful show, but it does help.
It helps everything.
Yeah.
It really does.
Are you more of an eater or a smoker?
I like to mix it up. I like to, I love my joints. I love my edibles. I hated edibles before, but now like the array of like cake ideas and pies and tinctures, and I mean, you can literally eat it in any form. And I love eating it anyway. So,
It's
bada bing,
like
bada
D,
boom.
all of the above.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at any way of getting weed in my body.
Do you eat yours?
Rarely. I'm more of a smoker, but I will. I'll
Instant
eat it.
gratification kind of guy.
Yeah, that's kind of it.
No
It's like I
wrong
want to
way.
smoke and be stoned now. I don't have to wait.
The funniest part of like the whole thing is everyone's like, oh my god, like how do you do this show like baked out of your mind? I can't touch the stuff till after the show.
I'm
Like,
the same way. I
I
smoke
don't.
every day, but 99.9% of the people in my life have never seen me stoned.
It's. I mean, this we've bitten off a lot for this show, so it's so mega that it's like if anything goes wrong, I can't blame it on weed. But if it does go wrong, I'm gonna blame it on weed.
And it's also, you don't want to have something go wrong and then be like stoned in the wings going,
It's like, and next on.
And just a heads up, we are still at a place in Massachusetts where you're not allowed to smoke weed in a bar.
Correct.
Or in a public space.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna smoke it at home first.
Yes.
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 Yeah, no vaping, no smoking on the premise.
Correct.
And I know people are a little flippant about things like that, but especially places with liquor licenses, you're gonna ruin someone's life.
Right. Like respect the venue.
Yeah, especially around Provincetown, with how much money it costs to get a liquor license, run an establishment. Please don't fuck it up for those people.
Amen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, we are very, very excited. We've kind of partnered up with, I believe, the majority of the dispensaries in town. So we'll be doing some incredible giveaways. Shop Therapy came through, and I found some weird shit to give in the whole theme. They found a hybrid of the 8-bit world and marijuana. So
I love that.
come on by. It's going to be super interactive. We're creating this amazing, amazing world. So please come check it out, y'all. We'd love to have you.
I know we're backtracking, but I do want to ask, in the same way we asked Quinn, how long have you been in P-Town? What brought you here?
Ready to age me. So I'm going on my 10th year
Damn.
out here. 10 seasons, I should say. This is now my 5th winter I've been out here.
Are you housing secure?
For the first time this last year, I am housing secure. Are we ever actually secure,
Right.
though? I have a lease for a year. That's
Love
that's
that.
pretty good. Now I guess 6 months, but emotionally, no, that was never the case.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, housing secure. I actually live with my co-producer and writer, Austin. Our house is the cross between the Saw movies and Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
and maybe a little Lisa Frank, depending on where I left my wig. But
We filmed, we had Austin on to talk horror for Halloween, and
Yeah.
we filmed at your place. It was,
the best part is that those decorations are still up. It's just a year-round home decor.
that was my first question when I walked in. I was like, I know it's Halloween and there's Halloween decorations up, but are these for Halloween or is this just
Yeah,
decoration?
they've been up there for a while.
Cute. I
That's
love
right, you guys
that.
did have him on.
Yeah.
And actually, this I was part of your very first show ever.
You were.
Almost 2 years ago.
That's
Here
right.
I am.
I know,
It's nice to be back.
almost 2 years old. And the reason why I asked Mackenzie if she was going to sing is because when you first started competing at Showgirls 10 years ago, he would win by singing.
I would. I figured I'd give y'all a chance to win some money at Showgirls. So no.
Secret townie talents, though. People that you know of for one thing that are actually so amazing at other things. Like, this person can really sing.
It's in there somewhere. I gotta stop smoking.
Right. But definitely get some tickets only at thecrown.com Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday night for 20 Henny.
8 p.m. babies. We'd love to have you.
Kill the people, break a leg.
I will kill them all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys.
For
Appreciate
looking so
you.
gorgeous.
Hey, at least I could do it. I'm gonna go back to bed now. Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for watching. We want to thank our sponsors, Be Well Cannabis, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop. Oh, he dropped.
What?
Keep going.
ProjectValorSailing.org, Cafe Heaven, The Red Inn, The Crown and Anchor, The Provincetown Brewing Company, and viewers like yourself.
Also, the Adam Howard Metal Workshop over on Bradford Street is going to have an open house tomorrow until 2 o'clock. Me and Bob were so blown away when we stopped by, I think a year or two ago, to interview him and check out the workshop. It is one of the coolest spots in town if you've never been in, so definitely stop by. I think it's till 2 tomorrow, open house right there.
Yeah, watch him weld.
It's
I like seeing the sparks fly.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
We'll see you next Friday.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
In Provincetown.